Sure, I've had a lot of trouble with Restream lately. I've been talking to them about it. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds here. I'm just gonna let the logo play so I don't have to worry about it. Let's see. All right, welcome to Evidence-Based Audio Engineering. This is number 121, and we got automatic strippers. So, first of all, there was a Room EQ Wizard update. Some of you guys may not be into this stuff at all, but Room EQ Wizard is what I use to test all the when I did all those mic preamp tests and the direct box tests and everything else, the interface tests, all those goodies. That was done using Room EQ Wizard, and let me see if I can get a screenshot of it real quick. Room EQ Wizard. Get you some images here. It's your basic real-time analyzer. It can do 3D waterfall plots, spectrum analysis. Yeah, sorry, you guys on Instagram and TikTok, you probably won't be able to really see, but you go check it out. Room EQ Wizard. It's like what you would use for ringing out a room live. It's not really in real time. There are some real-time features. I think I never used it that way. But if you ever, like I say, if you ever saw my my actual real-world audio tests available at pipelineaudio.net, this is the software that I use to really do the comparison of noise, distortion, frequency response, and bandwidth. And it's free. I think you can donate to get some other features unlocked or something, but I remember paying for it. But I know it's free, so go check it out. So the fixes, let's see. There's a bunch of bug fixes. Nothing that I ever really had much trouble with. There's one that says the alignment tool would show an error message when aligning phase if the phase traces had not been displayed. Kind of a quality of life thing. You could always work around that one, but here's the changes it's talking about. Allow SPL impedance or allow SPL times impedance or SPL divided by impedance in trace arithmetic operations, normalizing the impedance to the reference resistance for power figures. Adds a unit selection on the export measurement as text. I like thank you, because sometimes you're not in the units you really want to be in, especially so you guys. All right, sorry if this is way geeked out on this one, but if you're looking at like microphones or mic preamps even, and you're looking at, how noisy are these things? How much gain do they actually make? You'll see everything is like 20 different types of units. You can never easily compare directly one unit with another. And so that's pretty handy. Add an equalizer entry. Let's see. Added an RTA appearance option to show the peak SPL for tone bursts when in spectrum mode. You guys doing like setting up big rooms, that might be something pretty helpful for you. Increase tolerance to delays before the sweep and offline sweep recordings. Okay, so this is a crazy one. I don't know if you were using this, and I'm sorry if this is way too geeked out. You would run in the other room, start pressing buttons so you could get your sweep going, run into the other room, set up your mics, and then by the time everything went, it had already timed itself out. So hopefully this is enough that you can wait a little bit longer. Improve the Windows and Linux file chooser column width handling. Thank you. This is a quality of life thing. Reduce scope memory use for large time spans. Interesting. I never really had a problem, but if you had a couple going, you certainly could. Anyway, so if you do use Room EQ Wizard, or if you're looking for something with RTA functions, and especially to do 3D waterfall plots, go have a look at the newest Room EQ Wizard. And if you got any questions, I don't know it super well. I go to their forum to ask anything that I really need to know. So, but it's really good stuff. I like it. Do I still? I don't have it on this particular computer's build, but next thing, what do we got? Oh, okay. Our dynamic EQ was officially released for sale on Friday, and Glenn Fricker did a video on it, and of course, being Glenn Fricker, he had like a tagline, like now it says stupidly useful dynamic EQ, but I think it said something like, why didn't somebody think of this before? So of course the comments immediately got flooded with, what, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of dynamic EQs out there. What are you talking about? And they're right, but I think we do some things a little bit different. A lot of you guys were beta testing this for us for a while, so thank you for that. It's officially out right now. I think it is $74.99 right now. I think all our plugins are going up in price. Sorry about that, but they're a lot of work. For you guys who had been beta testing this, you know who you are. Make sure you let me know if you don't have a registration. I'll add you. We'll take care of that for you. Thank you so much. And we were cringing on the name when he said, "Why didn't somebody think of this?" But Glenn got a good look at this, and he actually showed a really good example of using the downward expander to take out some cymbal bleed. Our multiband compressor is going to do something similar, but there's always that, and by always I mean in the modern world where people are kind of used to dynamic EQs and multiband compressors, there's always that philosophical thing about what's the difference between them. And, in this case, you're talking about your specific EQ band. You're going to set a Q control for it, which, you kind of almost could on a multiband compressor too. It's not really for peaking and ducking, but you could do it. So anyway, he shows the downward expander doing some really cool stuff to clean up a snare. And then he's showing demudding a guitar track. And if you guys haven't tried to go try it, the demo's free for 30 days. So, like I say, it's an EQ. It's got high pass and low pass filters. It's got a decramped filter. So if you if you rail it right up against Nyquist, it's going to keep its symmetry. And take a look at most, or maybe not most, a lot of people are decramping their EQs now, but take a look at like even the stock EQ on Reaper. As you take that peaking filter over towards Nyquist, you're going to see it become asymmetrical. And I wonder if I can't just show something real quick. So let me throw re-EQ on this channel. Hopefully it doesn't destroy my recording here. So if you guys are watching on YouTube or Facebook, I'm making a filter. I'm just making a regular band EQ, parametric EQ, and I'm going to move it towards Nyquist. And so have a look at what happens here. Man, I would turn this phone around, but I'm a little bit scared. So as I get close to Nyquist, you see that the lower frequencies seem right. The higher frequencies start cramping together. And we've decramped our EQ. There's other decramped EQs out there, but like I said, it's a handy thing to have. Of course, being that it's Glenn's video, there's plenty of hate in the comments and stuff. But a lot of people, yeah, hey Bill, a lot of people were saying that, hey, Tokyo Dawn EQ Nova is free, and why should I buy this when I could buy Nova? The funny thing is I didn't want to build this EQ. I wanted to use Nova. And so I asked TDR if they would make a zero latency version and one with the hold control. And he said it wasn't really in the cards. And so that's when we started doing this. So, the couple differences here. There is a no latency version of this, a zero latency version. I shouldn't even say zero. I shouldn't even say version. By default, this EQ is zero latency. I'm going to pull up a screen of it. So here it is right here. And if you notice, there is a look ahead control. So if you're using this in a live armed input, you're gonna have some issues, right? But you already know that about look ahead plugins. So it's no different than any of those other ones. So by default, it's 0 latency. And that's different than quite a lot of the dynamic EQs out there. There are some with 0 latency. One of the things that we added that I'm not sure if this is completely unique, but I haven't seen it on the other ones, and it's a big deal to me, is this hold control. If you're used to using fully featured noise gates like our multiband gate, or Reaper's regate, you know that you have a hold control. So after the attack happens, it's like, let's say it's a gate. So the attack happens, smushes it down, and then on the crappier ones, the release starts right away, right? However long you have the release is how long the release takes, but the release starts right away. With the hold control, you're going to hold that signal down until the hold time is over, and then the release time will start. To me, it's essential for noise gates. Like I don't know how people use gates without a hold control. I think that you're just tying a hand behind your back at least. For compressors, you can do some interesting things, especially for like demudding. The old Andy Sneap trick. One of the things about that trick, where you're kind of demudding the palm mutes, with the multiband compressors, like I say, the attack starts right away, or the release starts right away, and you get into this situation where the chug, it kind of gets a little bit quieter, but not quieter enough to demud itself. And so you get this weird, like, upside down unchug. I don't know how else to say it. With the hold control, you can kind of get where you think that a regular pick attack would be, and hold it for that long before you start the release. And sometimes you want a very, very quick release. Like even though it's going to make it make bass distort, when you're ducking a bass, for instance, with a compressor, let's say your kick drum is side chaining into your bass guitar and you're ducking it, you really want that release to come up pretty fast. Even though, like I say, you're going to get a little bit of distortion, but I don't think you're going to hear that distortion in that way, or it may even add to it. Like, for instance, in our multiband gate, where people have, a lot of people have found that, a 0 release on that noise gate is going to make it click. And that's true. But people or 0 attack is going to make it click. But people are using that click to just add a little bit more attack to their sound. So not only do I think it probably won't hurt so much, it's probably going to, it could potentially help. But, that's up to you. Hey, everybody on TikTok, I'm just getting used to this TikTok live thing. So let's see. What else do we got here? So you got all your regular stuff, your RMS window size. The source is going to be between band, input, or sidechain. And the band is just going to mirror, the detector is just going to mirror whatever settings you got on your EQ for that band. The input control, if you choose input, it's going to, you're going to be able to use the high pass and low pass filter to decide exactly which part of the signal you want to listen to. Similar to a regular sidechain filter on a normal compressor or whatever. But you have that per band. So you could have all the bands listening to the same thing. So you kind of get something like multiband gate does. Or you could have them listening to different things. Or you could have high frequency things listening to low frequency things. Whatever. And then the other one is sidechain, which again will have the high pass and low pass filter. And then there's that global look ahead, if you want. Otherwise, it's 0 latency. And you can choose between compressor, upward expander, and downward expander. And then we've got a hard and soft limiter on here. It's defeatable. You could turn it off if you want. It's after the final output control. And there was a video I did a couple months ago now, I guess, where I showed how, running the soft clipper, a couple stages of it, into a guitar cabinet impulse response, we were able to get a pretty convincing amp simulators, so don't hold me to it. But there's no real reason that you won't be seeing an amp simulator from AIX DSP hopefully soon, if you were to see one. Anyway, that's about it for Glenn's video. Go take a look at it. It's now called Stupidly Useful Dynamic EQ on Spectre Sound Studios channel. And okay, so here I'm going to get us in trouble. And remember, our two main programmers use Apples, okay? I want Apple to exist because I don't ever want to see a monopoly on operating systems. Everybody does better with competition, and it keeps people honest. It keeps people from doing really dumb things, or helps keep people from doing really dumb things. But you guys know my Apple rants probably are legendary right now. TikTok out there, I'm talking through an iPhone. Okay, that's what's going on. So I got an Apple product. I have an Apple iPad that I actually use on stage to play Bias Effects through. So you know how much I hate disclaimers, but I'm giving them to you anyway, especially for anybody who's new here, because I rant about Apple a lot, and I'm sorry, but we are sorry. We're putting up with another chunk of gatekeeping problems. We've paid for our code signing. We're always up to date with code signing. We're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, and yet this just keeps happening. And this time we got a weekend where my programmer's gone, man. I can't fix these issues. So people have bought our products, and all of a sudden Apple decides they're going to do another fake gatekeeping round. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. So they did another one of these fake gatekeeping rounds so that people can't install our plugins, or actually in this case they can install our plugin. Sorry. In this case, I think everybody's been able to install our plugin, even though some friends companies are kind of getting hit pretty hard where they aren't actually able to install what they're supposed to be installing. In our case, there seems to be some sort of firewall or something that's keeping people from being able to register. Thankfully, unless you were a beta tester, you only have this plug for a day or two, so we got 30 days to figure this out. Hopefully we will beat Apple to the punch before they change this again, which I'm sure they will, and then it'll start up all again. I want people to stop this. There used to be this myth that like Apple was the artist's computer and stuff, and maybe it is, I don't know. If you're just scratching the surface of a computer and you don't need to install any programs or do anything complex, Apple works pretty well. There's a wedding planner guy here named Michael Bell. Actually, I think he moved away, but he is. I'd always ask, why do you guys buy these Apple things? They cost so much more. The performance is poorer, and you have all these problems with it. And he explained, the Apple ecosystem works really well. Your iPhone integrates with your iPad, with your computer, and there's a lot of cool stuff that Apple does. But I hate the idea that it's the music computer. It's not. It's not. If you're going to use GarageBand and Logic and not really do much else with it, fine. Maybe it's a music computer. If you need to install anything, if you need to tweak any hardcore audio settings, it's just, you got to be an expert to use these things, and they're supposed to be for noobs, And so I would appreciate, I really wish we'd stop pushing this myth that Apple is for noobs to DAWs. If like I say, if you're just going to use GarageBand or Logic and you're not going to install any plugins, great. That's good for noobs. If you have to do anything at all, forget it. Hold on real quick. So what's going on? We just I had to drop off some speakers
So I figured I'd drop by, but I was gonna eat some breakfast. We got the thing. It was nice, man. The setup is cherry. So we had we put I just brought a block rocker out to the beach.
Yeah.
Because it was because it's powered. I mean, no need a generator.
Yeah.
So I just put a block rocker on a stool, and then Uncle Jerome. You know Uncle Jerome, yeah?
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome is he's a what do you call that when you're a
Like an MC.
no, not the MC, but the guy who makes people a fish on.
Oh
The guy who can marry people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that Ikolu's dad is a pastor.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's a freaking pastor. He's a fish on. So officially, he married his grandson, right? Jerome Kalama, which is Choppy. Choppy Jerome is Uncle Jerome, but then wait, so Jerome is our second cousin. That's
Hold on, I'm on broadcast right now, but I'm
yeah.
just.
Oh shit, you live?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's
okay.
right. I'll get you.
Okay.
Hi, sorry about that. This is normal. This a working place. That's how it goes. But yeah, okay. So please, if you're considering getting into DAWs, you want to buy audio interfaces and do all this stuff, install plugins, learn a lot of stuff. Don't buy an Apple right now. I'm just saying it. If we hold Apple's feet to the fire, hopefully they'll stop doing this stuff. They'll stop taking away the ability to use perfectly working plugins that were made for free for the whole community. Get rid of some of the stuff that's going on with code signing. Get rid of some of this gatekeeping, and then provide a good competitor for Microsoft, so it'll make both Windows and OS X better. I know I'm always on these Apple rants, and sorry, not sorry, because it takes up so stupidly much of my time. Not just as having a software company, but having a music school here, and the kids want to do some recording or whatever, and they just get stuck because Apple wants them not to be able to work, and it drives me nuts. So anyway, let's stop ranting about Apple for a second. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, so we're really going full bore with the XR 18, and I'm learning the mixing station. I actually heard from the developer of Mixing Station Pro today, which was pretty cool. I can kind of get my head around the official Behringer XR 18 app because it's very similar to what we controlled the M32 and X32 we used to have here with. But everybody keeps telling me to use this Mixing Station Pro thing, so I am. I was able to figure out how to get my router working the way I wanted. There's some debate whether or not you should hide your SSID, so whether or not you should hide your broadcasting name. And it makes a lot of sense, but yeah, it could be, if not everything's set up right, you might run into some trouble. I don't know. We'll see how this works. It's kind of low pressure usually where I'm going to be trying this out, so we'll see. If it gives me any crap at all, I can hide that SSID. We'll see how that works. I'm still very unclear. Even back then, I was really unclear on how scenes worked, and if you ever tried the official Behringer apps for that, it was like two identical icons for each thing, the load and the save, and one was for your local computer and one was for the onboard memory of the device. I'd like to put it on both places, and I'd like to, and because I'm new to the Samsung Galaxy type of things, I have no idea how to get the scene file, and email it to myself for safekeeping. So if anybody knows that, let me know. So there's a lot to do for this thing. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm wondering how bad it is to put the router behind your XR 18. Like just how well do those antennas work? I guess I'm going to find that out the hard way. I still don't really understand scenes versus snapshots versus whatever else, and I don't like the way those apps are for loading and unloading these things. It's very it doesn't build confidence. But I see that thousands of you guys are using these things, so there must be. I'm just looking at it wrong. I'll be having a look, and hopefully I can get this stuff figured out. I got some of it working last night, but we shall see. Okay, so also getting a lot of just kind of crazy Yeah, here's mixing station. This is what I was going to use. Not particularly this one, but the if you ever use automatic wire strippers, over at Safe Space, they're saying that you can use them on the outer jacket of a mic cable without killing the inner conductors. I've never ever seen that work. I'm looking at this Paladin one, and you do preset the. Looks like you preset the gauge of wire that you're doing. I have a feeling maybe this one actually will do it. It's like $100. Because you guys may know that's kind of the hardest part. If you'd been doing this for a long time, your regular everyday wire strippers, like even the Radio Shack ones, you can cut the outer conductor without hurting the inner insulators. You've done it. You've probably developed a technique for doing it, and you know it's possible. Other people will use like a razor blade to do that, but you're just as likely to hit that thing. Hit the inner conductors with the razor blade. I mean, you've got to have the skills to do it. But yeah, like I say, Safe Space is claiming that there's automatic wire strippers that don't kill those inner conductors. So is that true? Because if this one will do it, I'll buy this thing in a second. I mean, that would be really nice. I'd like to know. I'm actually just going to order some normal. Let's see. It's like I just use these ones. I guess, yeah, hey, Instagram and TikTok. I think this one's from Radio Shack, actually. Let's see. This may be from someplace else, but it's just like what Radio Shack would made. You have these little preset things that I never use to choose the wire gauge. And I could use this just fine to cut the outer conductor of a mic cable. So they're okay, but you know, if these automatic ones work, that's great. I have automatic one up here someplace. I never ever use it because it will wreck all your cables, man. I don't trust those things at all. So but if you know otherwise, let me know, because I would really like to use one of these things, an automatic wire stripper, if it was feasible. And yeah, so Bike Factory's ride is tonight, so I'm not going to be long on this thing. But what's on the market for soldering irons? I've used where are we? Where's all my welders? Oh, I need to get a new. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is what I use for years, right? This is I've got a blue Weller, but this is the Weller. They either go by WLC 100 or WTC 100. This is the one that I always tell all the interns and stuff to buy, and works great for pretty much everything you're going to run into on studio stuff. You're not going to be doing surface mount stuff with it. I don't do any surface mount stuff. If something surface mount needs to be done, I'm taking it someplace or I'm sending it someplace. But I really would like, especially here in Hawaii, the air does some kind of weird things to the tip. So you're never sure if you're at the temperature you really want to be at. And these newer soldering irons, you know, they're temperature controlled. Yeah, you could get a temperature controlled Weller as well, but these are $100. This seems to be a lot cheaper. Supposedly these you can set preset temperatures and stuff. So if you guys have any good experience with that, with the Hakko FX888D, that's the one I keep hearing to take a look at. Let me know. I'd really like to know. Otherwise, I could go get some more blue Wellers and stuff. But what I do keep hearing about these things is that there's tons of fakes out there. So if you buy, I'm not sure if it happens from Amazon or if it happens from another place that you buy from, but people are getting fake soldering irons just like they end up with fake SM57s and SM58s. If you know a safe place to buy them from, or if you know, for instance, that Amazon is usually reliable for getting a real one. For you guys who saw Glenn's video on his wireless mouse where he kept ordering from Amazon, there'd be brand new boxes, completely sealed, and he'd open it up and the mouse in there would just be a mouse with the wire cut off, some old like ball mouse from back in the 90s or whatever. So, you know, I'm a little skeptical on the Amazon stuff, but let me know. And that's really all I got for today. Trying all these different new live things, and I'm gonna go ride my bike, so get rid of some of this gut. So I'll see you guys later.